Yesterday we have finally started to dive into chapter 7, right concentration. We have read the first paragraph, not the easiest one to understand. Now let's continue with the next paragraph. However, samadhi is only a particular kind of one-pointedness. It is not equivalent to one-pointedness in its entirety. A gourmet sitting down to a meal, an assassin about to slay their victim, a soldier on the battlefield. These are all act with a concentrated mind. But their concentration cannot be characterized as samadhi. Samadhi is exclusively wholesome one-pointedness, the concentration in a wholesome state of mind. Even then, its range is still narrower. It does not signify every form of wholesome concentration, but only the intensified concentration that results from a deliberate attempt to raise the mind to a higher, more purified level of awareness. So not all one-pointedness is the same with samadhi in the Buddhist context. These are the 3 examples. Gourmet sitting down a meal. When we are enjoying the meal so much, we are so concentrating on the meal. Yeah? Maybe we are concentrated, but this is not the samadhi in the Buddhist context. An assassin about to slay his victim. Yeah? He has to be really concentrated, but this is a very wrong kind of concentration. Or soldier on the battlefield, and Shifu gave an example of sniper. A sniper has to be very still, very concentrated, hold the breath, yeah, to be able to hold the sniper in a very stable manner. Yeah, also a very wrong concentration. Another example that Shifu gave is that as well. Like kids playing games. Usually they are super concentrated and they can not eat the whole day and just play the game in front of the computer. I've even read the news that they play until they die probably in Korea or something, where the culture of internet cafe is strong. Yeah. And they play for 24 hours or more, and then they pass away because of that, which is quite tragic, I think. The culture of internet cafe, when I was a kid, I went to cyber cafe a lot. It was one of my most memorable time. The most fun I had during my childhood. Yeah. But to overdo it and to be, concentrated all the way until forget to eat, I think that is extreme. Okay. The point is there is a wrong kind of concentration. These are some of the examples. In the Buddhist context, the concentration that we are focusing on is the wholesome concentration. Samadhi is exclusively wholesome one-pointedness. The concentration in a wholesome state of mind. Even then, we limit again the range. We narrow again. We narrow the range. Not every form of wholesome concentration, but only the intensified concentration that results from a deliberate attempt to raise the mind to a higher, more purified level of awareness. What does this exactly mean? I think we should read on to find out. Next paragraph. Okay. Saikyang, would you like to read?
Thank you, Lisa. The commentaries define samadhi as the centering of the mind and mental factors rightly and evenly on an object. Samadhi, as wholesome concentration, collects together the ordinarily dispersed and dissipated stream of mental states to induce an inner unification. The two salient features of a concentrated mind are unbroken attentiveness to an object and the consequent tranquility of the mental functions, qualities which distinguish it from the unconcentrated mind. So the mind untrained in concentration moves in a scattered manner, which the Buddha compares to the flapping about of a fish taken from the water and thrown onto dry land. It cannot stay fixed, but rushes from idea to idea, from thought to thought, without inner control. Such a distracted mind is also a deluded mind, overwhelmed by worries and concerns, a constant prey to the defilements. It sees things only in fragments, distorted by the ripples of random thoughts. But the mind that has been trained in concentration, in contrast, can remain focused on its object without distraction. This freedom from distraction further induces a softness and serenity which makes the mind an effective instrument for penetration. Like a lake unruffled by any breeze, the concentrated mind is a faithful reflector that mirrors whatever is placed before it exactly as it is.
Okay, thanks, Saikyang. I think quite a beautiful paragraph. Let's take a look again. The commentaries define samadhi as the centering of the mind and mental factors rightly and evenly on an object. Yeah. What is the object again? We will find out later on. The breath could be one of the objects, yeah. But there are many more objects listed below. Samadhi, as a wholesome concentration, collects together the ordinarily dispersed and dissipated stream of mental states to induce an inner unification. The two salient features, okay, let's define salient. Most noticeable or important feature, the main features. The two main or important features of a concentrated mind. First, unbroken attentiveness to an object. We always stay on the breath, yeah, for example. And the consequent tranquility of the mental functions. These are the qualities that distinguish it from the usual unconcentrated mind. Yeah, I think as we practice, we started to see that our thoughts has tranquilized, not completely, but compared to, let's say you compare to 2 or 3 years ago before you meditate, yeah, the mind is really different. You started to become less agitated. At least this is what I feel. Yeah, one time I told Shifu, Shifu, after exploring and practicing Buddhism for a while, I felt like I'm becoming less and less agitated. Yeah, that's what I told him. And then I add on, On the other side, I also find myself getting less excited about the things I'm used to be excited. Yeah. So I think Shifu said that was quite normal. In the past, probably it will look like this. My excitement like goes up very high, and then my disappointment goes very, very low. So it keeps going up and down, like a roller coaster of emotions. Yeah. But after practicing Buddhism, the low started to become shallower, and it on the other side, the excitement is also dampened down. Yeah, that's how I feel. Things that I get used to be excited on is like my favorite band, going to a concert, playing games. Yeah. All this has started to die down, dampen down, compared to before. Okay, anyway, I digress. Tranquility, consequent tranquility of the mental functions, qualities which distinguish it from unconcentrated mind. The mind untrained in concentration moves in a scattered manner, which the Buddha compares. Yeah, this image is quite explicit, especially for those who have loving kindness of animals. But I believe the Buddha is not the one putting the fish on the dry land. Probably he observed some fishermen where they fish it out from the river and then they put it on the dry land, and then the Buddha noticed the fish flapping around. Yeah. That's why the Buddha uses this analogy. The flapping about of a fish taken from the water and thrown onto the dry land. And then you will see the fish keeps flapping, plop, 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 like this. It cannot stay fixed, but rushes from idea to idea, from thought to thought, without inner control. Such a distracted mind is also a deluded mind. Overwhelmed by worries and concerns, a constant prey to the defilements. It sees things only in fragments, distorted by the ripples of random thoughts. Another personal experience of me during the retreat, where I meditate before the lunchtime. Sometimes the thought of, oh, what am I going to have lunch for today? Yeah, the thought arises. Rushes from idea to idea. Overwhelmed by worries and concerns. Yeah? Sometimes the thought of, oh, tomorrow I have to work again. I want the retreat to be longer. Hopefully next year I can have a longer retreat. Yeah, but the thought arises during meditation. So, I'm overwhelmed by worries and concerns. Yeah? A constant prey to defilement. I always want this and want that, and worry about this, worry about that. Sees things only in fragments, distorted by all these ripples of random thoughts. Yeah. Do you guys have a similar experience? Okay, some of you not yet. Okay, glad to know I'm not alone. Okay. But the mind that has been trained in concentration, in contrast, can remain focused on its object without distraction. This freedom from distraction induces a softness and serenity, which makes the mind an effective instrument for penetration. Like a lake unraveled by any breeze, the concentrated mind is a faithful reflector that mirrors whatever is placed before. Whatever is placed before it, exactly as it is. Yeah, so you can think of this like a mirror, where you can see the reality super clearly. Whatever objects you place on it, you see it as it is. This is quite a beautiful imagery if you visualize it. Anything you guys want to add, want to ask, or want to comment? This is the introduction of right concentration. Tomorrow we will cover the new section, the development of concentration. Okay, if no comments or questions, we can end. I think it's a good time to stop. Let's do a dedication. 验消三障之分啊，验的就会证明了。普验罪障细笑处，实是长生菩萨道。阿弥陀佛。Till we meet again, may we be guided by the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Have a tranquilizing day ahead. Thanks everyone for participating, and see you guys next time.
Thank you, Marcel.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, sisters. Bye.
Thanks, Jolene. Bye bye.